What's going on, guys? It's Frager here again, and today I'm going to be building Chalet from Rainbow Six Siege. I'm super excited to be bringing this map build for you guys today because it's been a very long time since I've done one of these, and this was a fan favorite series on my channel. I do want to start making these more often in the future, so expect some more of these types of videos in the near future. But before we get into this map build, I can see in my analytics that around 90% of you watching this video right now are not actually subscribed to me. So if you are part of that 90%, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you guys want to interact with me or my community outside of YouTube, then make sure to join my Discord server linked down in the description below. But with that being said, let's get right into this video. So for this map build, we are of course starting off in a super flat world. And for this main building, I decided to start off in the garage area of this basement. And for this area and pretty much the rest of this basement, I'm using cobblestone for the exterior walls. And for the interior walls, I'm using stone brick. And then finally for the floors, I'm using smooth stone. I also like to add all of the little objects in the rooms as I go along, because it saves a lot of the headache of having to go back through and add them all later. Plus it gives you guys a better sense of progression throughout the build. Then moving on from the garage, we have this corridor here that takes you towards the wine cellar and also the other garage area. And this corridor also splits off and takes you to the main entrance stairs and the trench stairs. Now I'm not super familiar with the callouts in Rainbow Six Siege, but I did pick up on some of the callouts for this map from the walkthrough video that I used as a reference. Anyway, for this wine cellar area, I of course use bricks for the walls, and then for the floors I use polished blackstone because the floors in this area are more of a darker black color. And then for the second garage area, we are using the same palette as the first garage area. And there's also another stairway here that takes you up to the main level. But that's pretty much it for this basement, so now it's time to move up to the main level. So for this main level, I'm starting off in this main lobby area. And honestly, this main lobby area is probably one of the rooms that I struggled with the most. Mainly because of this diagonal entrance, I just never was able to get it right. And so I pretty much got this room to a point where I was happy with it and it was just adequate. And I did end up making a few adjustments to it, even later on when I was working on the second level, but I'm still not completely happy with how it turned out. But anyway, I really like how this fireplace turned out, and this wall of windows brings a ton of natural light into this room, and that's probably one of my favorite things about this room. Anyway, moving on from the main lobby, we have the bar area, and then also the games room. This bar room was another room that I really struggled with a lot, and I'm not completely sure why. There's not a whole lot going on in it, but I just couldn't seem to figure it out. But in the end, I'm pretty happy with the product I ended up with. And this games room was pretty easy. There wasn't a whole lot going on in here, so I kind of just breezed through this one. Now moving on from those two rooms, we have the main hallway for this main level. And this hallway connects you from the library stairs all the way to the dining room. Now I didn't quite get this hallway right at first, but I do end up fixing it later on when I'm working on the main entrance. And now that this hallway is done, it's time to move on to the dining room and the kitchen. Now this is an area of this building that I just didn't do right at first, so I end up changing it a ton throughout this video, especially when I'm working on the second level. So what you're seeing right now is nowhere near the finished product of what these rooms are going to be, but I am pretty happy with how this kitchen turned out. And now to finish off this main level, we just have the main entrance and the trophy room. And for this main entrance, this was another room that I really struggled with. I'm not entirely sure why, but when you're looking at it from the inside, it looks perfectly fine, but then when you look at it from the outside, it just doesn't look right at all. So I'm not entirely sure what I did wrong here. I think it may have something to do with the stairway coming up from the basement, but regardless of that, I still think it looks fine. And then for this trophy room, there's not too much going on here, but I did get the dimensions wrong for this one, and that's mostly because I got the dimensions wrong for the garage area below, but I do end up fixing that when I start working on the second level. But that's pretty much it for this main level, so now it's time to move on to the second level. So for the second level, I'm starting off in this room right above the trophy room. And this is where I kind of realized that the dimensions for this area are completely wrong. So I ended up pushing back this area a few extra blocks on all 3 levels, and in the end, I'm pretty happy with how this all turned out. I'm also very thankful that I had World Edit in this build, because without World Edit, this easily would have taken another couple of hours to finish. Anyway, moving on from this room, it's time to do the bathroom and the bedroom. And there really isn't too much to talk about here, they both went pretty smoothly. And now that those are done, it's time to do the piano room and the office. These two I struggled with quite a bit as well, and I played around with the dimensions of each room, but it ended up being that I just didn't have everything lined up properly. So once I figured that out, I was pretty happy with how the rooms turned out. So now it's time to work on this area that overlooks the main lobby. And this one I did not get right at first, so I did have to mess around with it a little bit, but in the end I'm actually very happy with how this area turned out. I think it looks really good and is actually pretty accurate to how it looks in the game. And now really all that's left is the library. And this one went very smoothly. There really wasn't much to do except to add a few bookshelves and some other things. But with that, this main level is pretty much done, and all that's left to do is add the roof. And for this roof, I'm using spruce wood for the trim and then snow blocks for the rest of it. I also made sure to add a few skylights in over the main lobby area and the library stairs. But once this roof is finished, all that's left to do is add the spawns and a few extra details. So I'll go ahead and do those in a time-lapse montage form and then get back to you guys once that's done. So that is everything completely built up, and now all that's left to do is see the final results. So here we go. I really enjoyed making this chalet map from Rainbow Six Siege, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And of course, if you did enjoy it, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below if you haven't already. And if you guys have any suggestions on maps you want to see me build in the future, or you just have an idea for a video you want to see me do, then make sure to leave those down in the comment section below. Even though I did make a lot of mistakes building this map, overall I'm very happy with how it turned out. But that's all I have time for today, so as always, don't forget to keep building.